The Sahasranama itself, I've talked about the origins of the Vishnu Sahasranama before. The author is Vedavyasa, and I've discussed the preliminary verses and also a few of the names of the 1000 names of Vishnu. Today, what I would like to do is to skip all of that and go to Phalashruti. Phalashruti means, Phala means fruit or the result. Shruti, what is the benefit of chanting Vishnu Sahasranama? What are the benefits of listening to Vishnu Sahasranama? The origin, again, is the war is over. The Pandavas has won the war against the Kauravas, and Yudhishthira is surveying the landscape. All he sees is dead bodies, thousands and thousands of soldiers dead, mountains of elephants dead, large piles of horses dead. All he hears is the wailing of the women, crying over the dead bodies of their husbands. He hears the children cry, Papa, Papa, where are you? Papa, Mama, Mama, why are you crying? And he sees all of that. And he asks himself, what is the meaning of war? What does it mean to win a war? Is this what winning is all about? If winning means a whole thousands and thousands of widows and thousands of orphans, who needs this victory? So it is a misnomer to call this a victory. It is really a misery. So winning a war makes no sense. There's nothing like, there's no concept like I won the war. Basically, what one does in winning a war is you destroy a whole lot of lives and made life miserable for everybody else. So he is totally confused. He's totally sorrowful. And then he wants to ask himself, what is the greatest dharma? There must be a great dharma that one should follow. What is it? So at the battlefield, Bhishma Pitamaha is lying on a bed of arrows, which was made by Arjuna, and he is waiting for the appropriate time, at which time he could leave his mortal body. Bhishma Pitamaha had the unique blessing that he could leave his mortal body anytime he wished. He was waiting for the appropriate muhurta, appropriate time to leave his body. Lord Krishna was there. Yudhishthira has this burning question. So Lord Krishna looks at Vyasa Mahamuni and asks Vyasa Mahamuni to answer the question. Ko dharma sarva dharmanam bhavata paramo mataha kim japan muchate jantahu janma samsara bandhanat. What is the highest dharma? What should I recite to leave this mortal body and escape from the cycle of birth and rebirth? So what Bhishma then says in the Anushasana Parva, which is at the very end of Mahabharata, Vyasa's Mahabharata, is Vishnu Sahasranama. So he tells him all about Vishnu Sahasranama, 1000 names of God. Well, every name is God's name. So 1000 is only a sample that Vyasa picked up to make it like a garland, so that when you chant it, you feel the vibration of it. So that's the Vishnu Sahasranama, essence of that one. And during the discussion of the Vishnu Sahasranama, there's one that comes in, which Lord Shiva and Parvati, a dialogue, and Parvati asks Lord Shiva, people say that chanting the 1000 names is good. It's beneficial to you, but it is so difficult to remember to chant those 1000 names. Is there an easier way to derive the benefits of the Vishnu Sahasranama by any other means? So Shiva responds to her, Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane. O Parvati, you can derive the benefits of chanting all the 1000 names, or you can simply chant Ramanama. Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. So easy to chant. And if you close your eyes and keep on chanting this, you would find yourself at peace. Your mind is not distracted. So Ramanama is a very powerful mantra. Jayatu Jayatu mantram Janaki pranamantram Pranava mantram Vedashastraika mantram Pavaninuta mantram Parvati Shokta mantram Jaya 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 mantram Janma Safalya mantram. Sri Rama mantra, or God's holy name, is propitiated by Creator Brahma and venerable sages who are blessed with perfection. This mantra relieves one of the grief of poverty and destroys karma and the birth and death cycle. The holy name of Rama takes the souls across the ocean of rebirth. This divine name restores health and peace to those who are bitten by the snake of worry. All the wisdom of the Upanishads glorifies and worships this transcendental name. Salutation to Sri Rama mantra, repeating and meditating on which one realizes the purpose of life and attains blessedness. So Rama mantra is a very powerful mantra which is very easy to sing. So Ishvara gives Parvati a, a bypass. If it's not possible for you to sing 1,000 names, at least chant Sri Rama mantra, and that will give you the same benefit. So all of these mantras, all of these Sahasranamas have a beginning, then they the main body, and then you have the Falashruti. Falashruti means the benefits of chanting. I listen to Vishnu Sahasra-nama every morning when my wife plays on the stereo Vishnu Sahasra-nama and chant it anytime I get an opportunity. And the advantage of Vishnu Sahasra-nama is there's no time at which you must chant. There's no place where you cannot chant it. Anybody can chant it, anytime, anywhere. So there is a tremendous amount of freedom given to us in chanting. But the important thing is to have Shraddha, to have Bhakti, and to have Dhyana. If you don't have Shraddha, if you don't have Bhakti, if you don't contemplate on the meaning of the Sahasranama which is read, nothing good will happen. Well, something good will happen to you. At least your mind is occupied with the holy thing rather than running after some trivial thing. But the most important thing for the spiritual seeker and for the scientist is Shraddha, Bhakti, and Dhyana. Faith, devotion, and contemplation. One should always remember that. Dr. Sane has mentioned it over and over and over again, and I can't emphasize enough the importance of those when you study the Holy Scriptures. Listening to Vishnu Sahasranama gives you a peace of mind. If you listen to the temple when Anandi was chanting, your mind becomes very calm. There is some vibration that is in sync with your natural body that you kind of forget everything and you're calm, at peace. The same thing happens when you listen to gospel music, like Mahalia Jackson. If you've ever listened to Mahalia Jackson, you close your eyes and listen to her singing in praise of Lord Jesus. Again, exactly the same feeling. All of the worries of the world seem to melt away, and you seem to be in a peaceful, very peaceful, quiet atmosphere. So these names of God, whether it is Allah, Jesus, Rama, Krishna, but people who have composed these things and people who can sing very soulfully, it has a tremendous effect on you. That's the phala. It gives you a calm of mind. And there are many, many other Shrutis also. And what is the essence of Vishnu Sahasra-nama? Let me just read out a few things so that we can converge on the common theme. Oh, I worship Lord Vishnu, who has become the universe and pervades all, Lord of past, present, and future. He has made and support all that is. He is being and the essence of all beings. He is the pure and supreme self in all. That's how we praise Lord Vishnu. He is all, at the beginning of all things. He is existence, its cause, and its support. He is the origin and the power. He is the Lord. He is the one from whom creation folds. His heads are multitude, yet he is the self in all. His eyes and feet cannot be numbered. Many and mighty are his form. His soul is revealed in light. As fire he burns, he is the rays of the moon and the light of the sun. His forms are many, but he is hidden. He has hundreds of forms, hundreds of faces. His face is everywhere. Reminds me of the chapter in Bhagavad Gita. So the thousand names is a convenient reminder that there is a spark of divinity in all of us. This prompts us to be a little bit more considerate, a little more kind, a little more selfless with those around us. And what does this mean in real life? It means that is an antidote for anger, greed, lust, and jealousy. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. So Vishnu Sahasranama as a way of removing those imperfections, the things that commonly we have, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, and make us a little bit more appreciative of the nature that is around us, of the people that are around us, because we recognize the same divine spark in everything in creation that we must acknowledge. So that's the great advantage of Vishnu Sahasranama. The one that I said in English was the initial verses. Vishwam Vishnu Vashatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu Bhuta Krut Bhuta Budbhavo Bhutatma Bhuta Bhavanaha Bhutatma Paramatma Cha Muktanam Paramagatihi Abhyaya Purusha Sakshi Kshetra Gnokshara Evacha. So I won't recite all of that. Just come down to the Palashruti, what it is that Vishnu Sahasranama gives us, and then I'll go after a few of the other things. So Vishnu Sahasranama has a number of benefits, and there are many multifold. The stotra greatly helps us in the all-around development of the chanter. Keeps negativity at bay. The Vishnu Sahasranama helps its chanter to stay away from any form of evil and or negativity in his or her life. The reciter's mind is cleansed of any curse that has fallen upon him or her and all the evil actions like greed, jealousy, and anger that tend to destroy him or her. The hymn creates a protective barrier around the mind, soul, and body of the character and shields him or her from any sort of evil intentions. Essentially makes you a little bit more pure, holy. You acquire positive traits. When a person reads the Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram with utmost faith, he is bestowed with a multitude of positive traits like success, pleasure, good reputation, righteousness, inner happiness. The Lord also blesses her with a firm, calm, and fearless mind, along with good memory, energy, and prowess, apart from various other material and spiritual benefits. It's a very good medicine for people for keeping the memory sharp. If you can recite all the thousand names, your memory is sharp. Freedom from disease. The Vishnu Sahasra-nama Stotram has the power to keep its readers from diseases by cleansing their atmosphere. A sick individual also finds relief from their illnesses because he also gets greater mental stability by reciting or hearing Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram. Chanting the Sahasranama Stotram helps the reciter to remain grounded and includes a sense of humility and gratitude in him or her. The devotee acknowledges and accepts the fact that there is something eternal with more power than human beings, makes you humble. This Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram assists a devotee in getting closer to his or her journey towards moksha. The reciter is relieved from undergoing the vicious cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Janma samsara bandhanat. Vimuchate namastasmai. Vishnave prabha Vishnave. The mantra helps him or her absolve most of the sins. An individual who recites the Sahasranama with utmost faith finds himself freed from subconscious fears deeply rooted with him or her and is equipped with the courage to render his maximum effort and potential that he undertakes. The stotra guides him in finding ways to overcome any form of difficulty, hindrance, or obstacle in his life. It also said that chanting Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra improves your mental capacity and very good for if you're a student studying. It's an excellent guide in helping you through the various things that you've taken in Sahasranama Stotra. So now I'll come back to the Palashruti. Let me recite the Palashruti and then I'll comment on each one of them. So Bhishma, at the end of this Sahasranama, recites this Palashruti. Bhishma uvacha iti idam kirtaneyasya keshavasya mahatmanah namnam sahasram divyanam aseshena prakirtitam yaidam pranaya nityam yaschapi parikirtayet nashubham pratnayat kinchit somutreha chamanavah वेदांतगो ब्राह्मणस्यात् क्षत्रियो विजयी भवेत् वैश्यो धनसमुद्रस्यात् शूद्रसुखमवाप्नुयात् धर्मार्थी प्राप्नुयात् धर्मम् अर्थार्थी चाप्नुयात् चार्थमाप्नुयात् कामानवाप्नुयात् कामी प्रजार्थी चाप्नुयात् प्रजाम्. So he says here in the things itidam kirtaniyasya keshavasya mahatmanah Nam Sahasa Divyanam Asheshena Prakirtitam. Bhishma said, thus the 1000 names of Bhagavan Krishna, Keshava, Vishnu, Narayana, the Supreme, who is preeminently worthy of being praised, have been sung in their entirety. Ya idam shranaya nityam yaschapi parikirtayet Nashubham prapnayat kinchit somutrehe chamanavaha. Nothing inauspicious will befall the one who devoutly listens to the recital of this Sahasranama daily, and the more so the one who recites it wherever he or she may be. The benefit. Vedantago brahmanasyat kshatriyo vijayi bhavet Vaishyo dhanasamudrasyat shudra sukamavapnayat. If the person who chants these names is a Brahmin, he will attain the knowledge of the Vedas. If he is a Kshatriya, he will become a victorious warrior. If he is a Vaishya, he will acquire immense wealth. And if he is a Shudra, he will remain happy. Essentially, he's talking about the four characteristics that is within us. The Brahmin trait, the Kshatriya trait, the Vaishya trait, and the Shudra trait, and all of them are amplified and grounded by, solidified by reciting this mantra. Dharmarthi prapnaya dharmam, artharthi cha artham avapnayat, kamam avapyat kami, prajarti cha apnayat prajam. If a person recites the holy name with a desire abiding in dharma, he will achieve it. If he is desirous of wealth, he will get wealth. If he is after the pleasures of life, he will get them all. If he wants a progeny, he will have it. In short, those who recite these holy names of the Lord will reap the desired fruits. Again, you must have faith, you must have patience, you must have devotion, and you must be able to contemplate on the names. Bhaktimanya Sadottaya Shruti Sadgata Manasaha Sahasram Vasudevasya Nam Etat Prakirtayet. Well, take the case of a staunch devotee who gets up in the morning and purifies himself through a bath, followed by the due observance of the prescribed rites and rituals, and then recites the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu with the mind firmly fixed on him. So, the Shastra says that when you get up in the morning, after the morning rituals and the prayers, that's when you sit down to recite Vishnu Sahastra-nama stotra. But that doesn't prevent you from reciting at any other time, at any other place. It is better if you have the proper preparation for it, but you can do it almost any time. Yasha prapnoti vipulam gnati pradhanyameva cha achalam shriyamapnoti shreya prapnoti uttamam. He gains great reputation and is reckoned as the foremost among his kith and kin. He acquires abundance of wealth and keeps it intact, while in the other world he enjoys everlasting bliss. What this means is that a person who has faith in reciting this will have a salutary effect on the people who are around him. They recognize the wisdom of this person, they recognize the power of faith he has, the devotion he has, and that creates an atmosphere in which the other people also can benefit by not entertaining any bad thoughts and evil thoughts like jealousy, anger, and so on. Nabhayam Kochitapnoti Viryam Tejascha Vindati Bhavachirogo Ditiman Bhavarupa Gunanvitaha. Free from fear and sickness, the chanter acquires valor, inner power, inner strength, and is endowed with a healthy body, noble traits, and dazzling brilliance. Basically, what it means is that the chanter mind does not wander here and there, and it stays anchored at the feet of the Lord. The mind is always on the focusing on the Lord, and therefore it's a calmer mind, cleaner mind. Rogartha muchate rogat, baddho mucheta bandhanat, bhayat mucheta bhitastu, mucheta apana apadaha. The one afflicted by sickness will get rid of it. The one in shackles of sorrows will get disentangled, while the one stricken with fear will become free from it, and the one beset with difficulties will get absolved of them. This is again faith. You have to have faith in these words. So if you're feeling a little bit bad, for example, if something unpleasant happens in your life, your normal schedule is all upset and you feel a little bit distressed. At that time, remembering the name of the Lord, particularly if you can recite the Sahasranama Stotram or chanting it mentally, brings down the anxiety level, brings down the grief in you, and makes you grounded. And so that is the benefit of chanting the holy name of God. This is why a lot of people sing praises of God when they're in trouble, when they're in difficulty, when they're in shoka or grief. That is a good medicine for bringing us back to reality. Vasudeva Shriyo Marthyo Vasudeva Parayanaha Sarva Papa Vishuddhatma Yati Brahma Sanatanam. The one who seeks out Lord Vasudeva, looking upon him as the highest goal to be attained, gets cleansed of all sins. With a mind thus purified, the chanter attains the eternal Brahman. This again is another step in the dhyana to recognize the ultimate truth, Tattvamasi, that you contemplate. You keep on repeating some mantra, and over a period of time, as you sit in contemplation, repeating that mantra, all other thoughts in your mind seem to get washed away, and the mind is focused only on that mantra, and you experience anubhava, complete silence, which is Tattvamasi. So that is the step that you go through in dhyana. And here it says that chanting Vishnu Sahasra-nama stotra with a pure heart has the same effect as any other stotra. Now Vasudeva Bhaktanam Ashubham Vidyate Koshite Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Bhayam Naivopajayate. Nothing inauspicious ever befalls the devotee of Vasudeva, nor do they have any fear from the cyclic operation of birth, disease, old age, and death any longer, with a certain prospect of attaining him at the end of the current span of life. This is another way of saying Sharanagati. Anyatha Sharanam Nasti, Tvameva Sharanam Mama, Tasmat Karinya Bhavena, Raksha Raksho Janardana. There's no one else I can go but you. So, with your compassion, please help me. Please relieve me of the cycle of birth and death. Protect me. Anyatha sharanam nasti. Tvam eva sharanam mama. Tasmat, therefore, karunya bhavena, with your compassion, raksha raksho janardana. Protect me, protect me. A common prayer that most of us are familiar with. So again, as I said, you must be well grounded in faith. Imam stavam adhiyana shraddha bhakti samanvitaha yujetatma shakak shantihi Sri Dhriti Smriti Kirtivihi. The chanter of this hymn, with devotion, with zeal, is blessed with a happy realization of the essential nature of this wealth, the Nijaswarupa of the Atman, the qualities of forbearance, mental stability, unfailing memory, and great fame and wealth put to beneficial use are the chanter's rewards. So anytime when he talks about here that if you chant with great faith and devotion, you get prosperous, one thing that we must keep in mind is that it is God with His grace, our grace, self-effort, and the grace of the teacher and the grace of God. All the three are essential for success in life. So my own effort is essential. If I do nothing and simply sit in a corner and say, get me through the exam, and don't study for it, even the God cannot help you. So your own effort is very important. And the blessing of the teacher is important because there are so many teachers in our lives. The blessings of all of them are important in our success. And finally, of course, there is the blessing of God, Daiva Kripa, Sadhana Kripa, Guru Kripa, and Daiva Kripa. All the three are essential for one's success. So when one succeeds, it is wrong to say, I did it, I made it. It is to say, I was enabled in my success by not only my effort, but by the grace of the teacher, and finally by the grace of God, grace of Lord. That's very important for us to remember. So success is a combination of all these forces and not entirely my own. I cannot claim that I am the sole author of this success in life. Vishnu Sahastra-nama essentially emphasizes that, and it cements that idea that your success depends on the faith that you have in the Lord, faith you have in your teacher, and the faith you have in your own effect. Neither anger nor jealousy, neither avarice nor unholy thoughts taint the minds of the true devotee of Purushottama, who have to their credit many virtuous deeds. So essentially, all the negative tendencies that we have, anger, jealousy, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, etc., will all be neutralized. They won't rear their heads, ugly heads, because this powerful mantra will keep them underneath those, underneath this foot, so to say, so they don't raise their heads and play havoc with you. The firmament, the moon, the sun, the stars, the sky, the direction, earth, and the vast ocean are one and all propped by the supreme valor of Vasudeva. Devasa Chandraka Nakshatra Kamdisho Burma Hojadihi Vasudevasya Viryena Vidrutani Mahatmanaha. This is essentially the Vishwarupa Darshana in Bhagavad Gita, where the Lord says, I am the Mount Meru of all the mountains. I am this ocean of all the oceans. I am this river of all the rivers. Everything that you see is me. Basically, it's the basic tenet of Hindu tradition that the creation came out of the Creator Himself. Came out of the Creator Himself. So every part of creation has piece of Lord in it. The stone has a piece of Lord, the tree, the ocean, the river, the plant, human beings, animals, etc. All of them have the spark of divinity in them. In some of them, it is more overt, evident as in human beings, and it's not so, it's hidden, as in the case, for example, a piece of stone that also has the spark of divinity. So everything, you cannot separate the creation from the creator. This is why Johnny Parker has often said that he walks through, takes a walk in the woods and looks at the tree, magnificent tree that's growing, he sees divinity in that. So it's kind of an experience that you experience. It's very difficult to explain. It's like what love is. You don't know what love is until you have experienced it. Or to put it another way, you don't know what love is until you have lost it. When you have lost it, you know what love is. So when it is, you probably don't pay attention to it, but Sahasranama says that you pay attention to everything around you, the people around you, the family, the community, the nature, the oral part of life, and therefore you are but one part of life. You are not apart from the Lord at any time. The world, with all its contents, the sentient beings and non-sentient beings, the good, the gods, the asuras, and the Gandharvas, the yakshas, nagas, and rakshasas, is under the supreme control of Sri Krishna. This again is saying that the entire creation is nothing but a part of the Creator, and therefore He who controls everything else. He is the Lord of the past, the present, and the future. Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. He is the Kshetra, he is the Kshetragna. Kshetragno Kshara Evacha. He is the field and he is the knower of the field. So everything is indeed Lord Vasudeva. The seven sense organs, the mind, the intellect, the qualities of sattva, power, strength, firmness, as well as body as a whole, and the individual soul, all of them have Vasudeva as their inner soul. Indriyane mano buddhi, sattvam tejo bhalam dritihi, vasudevatmakanyahu kshetram kshetragna evacha. So this verse emphasizes that reciting Vishnu Sahasra-nama will firm up the idea that the entire universe is under the control of Lord Vishnu. As is explained in Bhagavad Gita, all of this is strung on me like beads. So it's a circle. You don't see the chain, you only see the colorful beads, but the thing that is holding together is a piece of chain or a thread that is invisible. So the entire world is held by Supreme Lord, invisible, but it is there. It is there. Vishnu Sahasranama chanting constantly or hearing will firm up that idea that Lord is the basis of everything. Right conduct has been laid down as the most important, the foremost of all dharmas, revealed by the Shastras, the valid and the authoritative texts. Right conduct, in terms of Shastric decrees and injunctions, give rise to dharmas. Bhagavan Achyuta is the deity propitiated by the dharma, which not only help in one's adherence to dharma, but also avoids the fruits thereof. Sarvagam Sarvagamanam Acharah Pratamam Parikalpate Achara Prabhavo Dharma Dharmasya Prabhu Achyutah. So what is dharma? Another definition that is given here is the right conduct. Right conduct is the dharma. And that right conduct is, the director of that right conduct is Bhagavan himself. The sages, the departed ancestors, gods, the great elements and their effects, the mobile beings and the immobile beings comprising the entire universe have all emanated from Narayana. This again is emphasizing again that the creation came out of the Creator. He is the sole creator. But notice that even though he has created the entire creation, he is not diminished in any way. Nothing is taken away from him. Purnamada Purnavidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. So nothing diminishes. You take away infinity from infinity, what remains is infinity. The knowledge of yoga, Sankhya, the several branches of learning, the arts, the works, the Vedas, and the Shastras, all of these spring from Bhagavan Janardana. Basically, he's saying that everything that we have created is by the blessings. It's already there, but with this help, we're able to uncover it, or discover it, or expose it. So that is the faith that we have in him. Lord Vishnu is the unique deity of incomparable excellence. He pervades the entire elements of multifarious kinds and the three worlds. He is their Atma and their protector, and yet he is not tainted in the least by their defects. Thus he enjoys supreme bliss. The teacher is responsible for teaching me. He has sincerity in his teaching, and he approaches the classroom with the idea of imparting the education to the student. He is not looking for his own glory, but the ultimate success, whether the student passes the exam or does not pass it, understands or not understand it, rests on the student, because he has to put in his time, his effort. So the intention of the teacher is very good, but if the student does not reciprocate that intention by his own action, nothing will happen. So here, the Bhagavan is saying that I provide you with all of the necessary ingredients for success in life. And if you misuse them and don't succeed, it is not going to taint me. I still am going to provide you with all of those things until you realize that your not unrighteous ways and correct yourself and come up to the level at which time you'll appreciate the blessings that are provided to you by me. But I am not affected by what you do. That person who desires supreme bliss in the yonder heaven, as well as the pleasures of life in this world, should read the stotra of Bhagavan sung by the great sage Vedavyasa. So that's the final thing that he says. Vishweshwara Majam Devam Jagata Prabhavapiyam Bhajantiye Pushkaraksham Natayanti Parabhavam. Natayanti Parabhavam Om Namaiti. The lotus-eyed Lord, birthless supreme deity, the sovereign Lord of the universe, and the cause of creation and dissolution of the universe. Thus, those who sing his praise will never meet with disrespect or discomfiture of any kind. Natayanti Parabhavam Om Namaiti. Salutations as Lord of all auspiciousness. Never will they meet with any discomfiture in their life from any source. Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna says, Padma Patra Vishalaksha, Padmanabha Paro Surottama, Bhaktanam Anuraktanam, Trata Bhava Janardana. Arjuna said, O Janardana, the greatest of gods, with broad eyes like lotus petals and lotus in your navel, may you be the protector of your loving devotees. Sri Bhagavan said, Bhagavan Uvacha, Yomam Nama Sahasrena Stotamichyate Pandava Sohamekena Shlokena Sutayevana Samshayaha. Bhagavan said, Arjuna, a person may of course be desirous of lauding me by chanting all the 1,000 names. But on my part, I feel satisfied with this chanting of just one shloka. There's no doubt about it. Stuta Yevana Samshaya. So instead of chanting 1,000 names, Krishna says chant even one name, but chant it with faith, with bhakti, and then contemplate on that name, what it means. Even that's sufficient. Sutta Yevana Samshaya Om Nama Iti. Salutations, the auspicious Lord, denoted by Om. Jaya Shiva Omkara, Jaya Jaya. Bhaja Shiva Omkara, Om. Brahma Vishnu Sadashivaya, Hara 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 Mahadeva. Jaya Shiva Omkara, Om. Jaya Shiva Omkara, Om. Om is, Dr. Sane has given many lectures on Om, symbolizes the godness in everything. Vyasa Uvacha, Vyasa said, Vasudeva, all the three words become viable only because they are pervaded by you, the all-pervading. You are indeed the abode of all beings. This is Vyasa acknowledging to Krishna about his supreme nature. Vasudeva Namostate Om Nama Iti. Salutations to you, O Vasudeva. Parvati Uvacha. Kenopayena Lugana Vishnu Nama Sahasrakam Patyate Panditai Nityam Shrotamityamaham Prabho. Parvati said, pray, spell out the easy method by which the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu could be deemed to have been recited by learned people. I wish to be enlightened by you, my Lord. Ishvara Uvacha. Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasra-nama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane. Here you are, Sri Rama, name, Ishvara said, here you are, Sri Rama's name, being the delightful source of mental exhilaration, I take great delight in reciting it repeatedly any length of time. Rama's name is indeed on par with the 1000 names of Lord Vishnu, spell out in the hymnal, O my blessed Lady. Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame. Sri Rama Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama. See, from 1000 names, Krishna says one shloka is enough. Ishvara says Sri Rama's name is enough. But the important thing to remember is all of them are referring to the same Lord. And one is more elaborative, one is more concentrated. Again, it depends on the makeup of your mind, how closely you are to ascending the spiritual ladder. The higher the ladder uh, you go up, the higher you go up on the ladder, the less effort you may have to do to reach the top. Not saying all the 1000 names, but at least remember Rama's name. Brahma Vacha. Brahma said, salutations to Bhagavan, who is eternal, who has 1000 forms, 1000 feet, 1000 eyes, 1000 heads, 1000 thighs, and 1000 arms, who is the eternal Purusha, having 1000 names. Salutations to him, who is sustainer of 1000 crores of eons. This again comes from the Rig Veda, when describing the Purusha. How many names, how many forms, how many faces, how many hands, how many feet? Thousands. Sahasrakota Yugadharane Namaha Om Nama Iti. Salutations to Lord, denoted by Om, the mighty sustainer of 1000 crores of eons. Sanjaya Vacha. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhuti, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Sanjaya said, where Sri Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, is, and where stands Partha holding the dexterous bow, there and there alone shall abide permanently prosperity, victory, glory, and righteousness. This is my considered opinion. So Sanjaya is paying tribute to the combination of the two personalities, Krishna and Arjuna. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Ananya Shintayanto Mam Ye Jana Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshema Mohamiham Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Duskritam Dharma Samstapanarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge Artha Vishanna Itilasya Bhita Ghoreshu Cha Vyadishu Vartamanaha Sankirti Narayana Shabdamatram Vimukta Dukkha Sakhino Bhavanti. So the Bhagavan said, unto those people who meditate solely on me, I bear the burden of vouchsafing the yoga of attaining me, and kshema, retaining them in that position without sliding back. For the protection of the devout, with the destruction of the wicked, and fixing dharma on a firm foundation, I get born of age to age. That's from the Bhagavad Gita. Whether afflicted by dire distress or poignant grief, or shattered by confusion due to fright, or tormented by cruel maladies, if the victim in each case do but spell the name Narayana, they not only get rid of all of these troubles, but also attain happiness. Again, it shows the power of chanting and remembering the name of the Lord. Finally, we conclude by saying, Kayena vacha manasendriyirva buddhyatmanava prakriti swabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeta samarpayami. Whatever I perform under the influence of matter, with my body and word, mind or sense organs, intellect or the embodied self, I offer all that in humble dedication at the feet of Narayana, the Supreme Lord. This is acknowledging that He is the Supreme Lord, and I am just but an instrument in His hands. So that sense the Palashruti, So, in Sahasra-nama, let me conclude by saying that chant it if you can, or listen to it. A number of CDs and MP3s available. It's available freely on. If you go to Google, Vishnu Sahasra-nama, you can find. So the one that I like is M.S. Subbalakshmi. She sang very well. It's a very standard recital that you hear in many households in South India. Any one of those things are okay. So with that, let me stop and ask for your comments and your observations and your experiences with Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra.
Prasanna, this is
Yeah.
It was good to listen to you after a long time. Thank you very much. Your heart and soul was into presentation today and went through all the Vishnu Sahasranam beautifully and fondly remember all the books that you wrote on Vishnu Sahasranam and shared it with me and my wife. Good. Today's presentation was exhaustive, enjoyable, and really liked it. Couple of things to remember is you rightly said Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga, the way. You need to have Shraddha, Bhakti, and Yoga together with Dhyana. Because unless and until you have that devotion and Bhakti, devotion and faith, you cannot get the ball rolling. But the important part about it, Dhyana is critical because through that process, you connect with your divinity within. And once you're able to connect the divinity within, you're able to understand all the things that we were discussing this morning. So Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, all three things are absolutely critical, makes it a lot more easy. And of course, as you know, if you read the Gita, as you have done many times, and I think the 10th verse and 9th verses, 10th chapter, 9th verses, Macchitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Ramanticha. So as long as you're singing the words, but Bodhayanti, understand it. Not only you sing it, but understand it, become a second nature of yourself, and then you can practice it beautifully. And you give us the short form of how to get 1,000 Vishnu Sahasranam by singing what Shiva Purana said, Shiva telling Parvati, Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Madhurame Sahasranama Tatlyam Rama Nama Varanane. So I'm glad that you give an exhaustive presentation. At the same time, give us a short cut how you can accomplish that if you have a limited amount of time. But what you need is learning through dhyana who you are and live it. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah. So my only final comment is that for any mispronunciation in chanting, I apologize to the Lord. Please forgive me. Yadakshara pada brashta matra hinam yad bhavet. Yeah. So please forgive me if I. Thanks.
Don't worry about it. You did wonderful as usual, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.